I can't talk too much about this because I don't want to be shadow banned, but I'm going to just use innuendos and sort of, so you know what I'm talking about. I am referring to what's happening in the Middle East and the situation there, right? I watched a video yesterday that actually blew my mind. I kind of already knew this, but just seeing it in black and white and written in paper and numbers just puts it in perspective. So the projectiles that are being put into the air by, the I country, as they approach the other I country, they're being shot down by I country and their allies, right? So the allies are spending 10 times as much as it cost the original launchers of the projectiles to stop the projectiles. So for instance, one of the projectiles will cost something like $50,000, $40,000, something like that. And the equipment and stuff, I'm using innuendos again, that is used to stop that thing cost $500,000, $400,000. That is absolutely insane how much money that they're going to have to spend. So if you think that the I country launched nearly 300 of those projectiles, do the math, 300 times $500,000. So we're looking at $150 million. Just think about how much money that is. And that's just the stuff in the air. Never mind all the stuff on the ground, moving things around, all of that. And, the United States and Europe are already involved in different other things across the world. There's stuff going on in Africa that you guys probably have never even heard of. There's stuff in Niger, there's stuff in Ethiopia, there's stuff happening in Somalia, in different parts of Africa, in the Congo, that, the West is involved with, but because it doesn't make the news, because it's not considered as important as something like Ukraine or whatever, or the Middle East, right? So there's a lot of money that's being spent right now. And that money is going to come from somewhere, okay? Obviously, it's going to come from taxation. So we're going to see taxes go up. They're going to start squeezing us in every different direction. But they're also going to do what they always do, which is to print a colossal amount of money. Now, we've seen the money printing before, and ironically, it coincided with the halving last time as well. When we had the pandemic, lockdowns, they had to print so much money. In fact, they printed probably even more money than they would in a situation like the one we find ourselves now. But having been already in debt, inflation being out of control, and now they have to print that much money, a lot of these billionaires are going to, if they haven't already, flee to a safe haven, an inflation hedge. Now, traditionally, an inflation hedge would be something like silver, gold, land, property, arts, yada, yada. But all of these billionaires and all of these companies and countries and stuff, they've done their research. They have experts advising them. They've looked around, they've done the maths, looked at the statistics, and they know that the best performing hedge against inflation of all time is what? Bitcoin. So we're going to see a lot of ETFs popping up all over the world. Shout out to Hong Kong, right? But we're going to see pretty much every country that does this sort of thing. They're going to pop up with ETFs of Bitcoin. And all of these people would have to seed their Bitcoin. So those companies will be buying actual Bitcoin while the investors will be buying fake Bitcoin, investing in somebody else's wallet, right? BlackRock, Fidelity, JP Morgan, they're going to buy more and more because they're going to see more demand as we move later into 2024, 2025. And depending on what happens in the Middle East, depending on what happens in China, because some stuff is kicking off in there as well, we're going to see just crazy traffic into crypto. At first, the fear would cause people to panic sell, blah, 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 not understanding that the panic selling is from people that don't understand what's going on. The people that do understand what's going on are the ones buying up the panic sales, right? When there's the Bitcoin supply shock and the price goes to the moon, then we're going to see ETFs of other eligible products. In the United States now, if we get the settlement, XRP is the next one, because Ethereum, I know that, BlackRock has prepared their Ethereum ETF application, probably other companies too. And even if Ethereum gets an ETF before XRP, XRP is looking really good to get an ETF as long as the law situation is settled. Now, a lot of people, people are in two camps. Some people think it's imminent, anytime now, blah, 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 blah. I'm sort of in that camp. Some people are in another camp saying, never, they're bent on destroying XRP. There's an ego thing. They're never going to let it happen. There's a negativity camp. Again, they can show you their own evidence, their own sort of, I won't call it evidence, but their own rationale for believing that. And, to an extent, they do have a point, right? I'm on the it's going to happen camp because, unless XRP somehow loses its legal clarity and everybody suddenly then becomes a security again, then XRP is light years ahead of any other crypto, apart from maybe Bitcoin in terms of legal clarity. Bitcoin's legal clarity is kind of by default, but XRP is actually tested in court, correct? But having said that, realize that all of that is only in the United States. And as the power shifts away from the United States when it comes to cryptocurrencies, we're going to see ETFs in other countries. And you know what? These billionaires that want to buy ETFs are going to say, well, I really need an XRP ETF. I want to buy into this, whatever ETF. It's not available in the United States. Hey, I'm going to buy in Cayman Islands or the one in Dubai or Hong Kong. Because guess what? Those billionaires already have their money outside the country anyway, right? They're in the Cayman Islands, in the Panama, banks, right? Switzerland. Not even Switzerland. Switzerland's old school. I'm talking about the new school stuff in Dubai, in Saudi Arabia, in Brazil, El Salvador now. A lot of these countries are attracting billionaires because they have favorable tax policies. And if these billionaires are interested in crypto, they're going to seek out countries that have that favorable crypto tax, first of all, and also that just have the products that they want. So if they can't get the products that they need in the United States, they're billionaires. There's nothing actually stopping them from just moving. Gone are the days when, the state was who protected your income, your wealth, and all of that stuff. Now we're moving into the era of Homo Deus. I don't know if you've read that book. I'll leave the link in the description. Very interesting book. When the human becomes self-sovereign and independent of the state. Now, everyone's not going to be able to do that. The billionaires are going to be the ones that can do it first. But eventually, as people become more savvy, and cryptocurrency plays a massive part in it, by the way. People start to move towards that when they become independent of the state. But also, according to the book, the state is not going to give up and lie down and take it. The state is going to fight tooth and nail to keep the status quo. And that's what we're experiencing now, I think. Anyway, not financial advice. Do your own research. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.